Well, the first presidential debate of 2024 between failed former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden is over. And I have to tell you, it was not good. And I don't think it was good for either candidate. Now, I know that this is going to be displeasing to some in my audience. This is a left wing show. I'm voting for Joe Biden. He's the better choice. But if I came here and told you that it was a great performance by President Biden, not only would I be lying to you, you would then justifiably never trust me again. I call it the way I see it. And for Trump's side, he told endless corrosive lies, a total lack of fact checking, combined with Joe Biden seeming confused. The second Joe Biden opened his mouth, I knew it wasn't going to go well. Muting the mics was a good idea, I'll be honest. But the debate kind of made me sick to my stomach because Trump was confidently lying about everything. And because of Biden's poor performance, I worry that this is a very significant net negative for Joe Biden. I was planning to, after the live stream that I did, have some of my beautiful stuffed shells with Rayo's marinara, ricotta, basil during the debate. It was tough to do. Biden didn't look good. I'm voting for the guy, but I don't know how the debate won anybody over new to Joe Biden. It was close to a worst case scenario. I can assure you Biden was on no drugs, that's for sure. By the way, Trump's pupils 2 or 3 times as big as Joe Biden's, and rampant speculation of stimulant use again. Trump lied like crazy, but he lied with conviction and confidence, and Biden stumbled. The amount of time that Trump just rambled without even answering the question is appalling. I'm surprised the guy even has the following that he has. But as Joe Biden started to speak, completely hoarse, very early in the debate, in the first 10 or 15 minutes during which many people make up their minds about what am I watching here, Biden going silent and then inadvertently saying, "We beat Medicare," which doesn't make any sense, and I assure you is not what he meant to say. Trump capitalized on it.
Continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming.
So Trump clearly taking advantage of Biden saying something he simply could not have meant to say. Trump said that what Biden has done is absolutely criminal. Biden's mic was muted, as you will see here. Nobody points out, including the moderators, you were just convicted of felonies. Why are you calling the other guy a criminal?
What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first presidential election since.
All right. So listen, whether it's fair to say the moderators didn't point out that he's actually the felon, I don't know. That probably would have been going a little bit too far. But then very quickly, again, President Biden just seeming shaken up, not expressing himself clearly, not making a lot of sense. And Trump very clearly capitalizing it, saying, I don't know what he said, and I don't know that he knows what he said.
What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border.
It's not good. It's not good. I mean, listen, Trump's a prick, okay? But it's not good. One of the main moments that the Biden rapid response side wanted to push and promote was this moment where Joe Biden said to Trump, referring to the troops are suckers and losers comment, that Biden's son was no loser and was no sucker. Trump just said the story is fake.
My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have.
Now, of course, that's very much not true, but Trump continuing to push, lying, saying they made up the suckers and losers thing, and even demanding an apology from Trump. Biden retorting, one of your own generals said you said it. You be the judge as to who comes off looking more confident here. This was actually sort of a 50-50 moment in my mind.
It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
Four-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country.
So listen, Biden actually is completely right about this. Biden has done so much more for military families than Trump. But Trump's defiant and he seems confident. And we got 30 minutes in without a single question about trying to overturn a free and fair election. Not a single question about Trump's 34 felony counts. Eventually we got to that. And this is the great example of Trump just telling lies and no real serious follow-up. Trump nodding along as Biden notes that Trump has had legal problems. And then Trump just says, I didn't have sex with any porn star, which of course he did, but he just lies about everything.
Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star.
Now, of course, Trump did. That's the case. And that is the sort of lie where, listen, do you think your followers are stupid? You obviously did that. It's not relevant to foreign policy. It's not relevant to a lot of policy, but it's so blatantly dishonest. And it's the type of thing that Trump gets away with, as disgusting as it is. After defending some of the January 6th rioters, Trump said that it is Republicans Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney who should be in jail. And this was a better moment for Biden, pointing out, you're the only convicted felon of all the people we're talking about.
The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on.
So a better moment for Biden, although again, his voice doesn't sound super strong. And then maybe factually the best when we think about the economy really mattering in the way people vote, arguably the best sort of injection of a fact by Biden was pointing out that Trump was indeed the first president since Herbert Hoover who lost jobs in the country net compared to when they took office. That was true.
President Biden?
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world, he's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And, you know, the fact of the matter is that we find ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover.
So listen, we are scraping here for some of Biden's best moments, but I do think that probably was one of them, and it was relatively close to the start of the debate. So what's my takeaway? I think it's a good thing that this debate is months in advance of the election. I think President Biden can recover. Trump lies the whole time. His people believe it, but I don't know that it really helps him win over anybody new. Biden's performance may just kind of not really excite people into going out and voting. And it really is a shame because everything coming out of Trump's mouth is BS. I think he had 6 lies in his first answer, but he doesn't sound like he lacks vigor or confidence in the way that he talks. Trump talks in a clearer and more authoritative tone, and there are people who will absolutely be impressed by that. So I do believe the message has to be you're voting for an administration, not just the man. Think about who Biden has around him and the great things they've done. Compare it to who Trump had around him last time and who he'll have around him next time and the things he openly says he wants to do. So not matching Trump's energy, not getting thoughts out quickly enough, President Biden. Trump steamrolled right through with his totally baseless, fact-free message, unimpeded essentially, and we now have to wait and see what is the impact. As I told you on the Thursday show, before this debate, the Real Clear Politics average had Trump plus 1.5, and the 538 2024 election forecast had it 50-50. Let's give it a few days. Let's give it a week. Let's give it a month and see where we land. This is as honest as I can be with you about what I see. Biden, obviously the better candidate. Biden, obviously the better person. Biden, obviously not the criminal, but not the debate performance that certainly the Biden team was hoping for. And unfortunately, much closer to the performance that the Trump team was hoping for. Let me know what you think. info@davidpakman.com with your thoughts. Remember, Project 2025, one of the reasons we really don't want Trump to win. And if you're wondering what Project 2025 is, I wrote a free white paper. You can go to davidpakman.com/project2025 to check it out. Absolutely no cost.